it's Meg and welcome to the third week of the Mentalhealthathon 2020. I cannot believe that we are over halfway through for this readathon. That is crazy, and we are like halfway through May as well, which is also really crazy. But yeah, another week, second to last vlog for this readathon. So I might as well start off with telling you guys what I am currently reading. So I'm still reading Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I've not read masses more, but I've kind of been taking my time with this book because obviously it's a reread and it's a story that I really love. So I'm just taking my time with it and enjoying it, but I should still be able to finish it by the end of the week because obviously it's under 300 pages. It's just over 200 pages, so I should definitely finish it by then. But I am on page 78 and like I said, still really enjoying it, and I'm definitely going to have to watch the film once I finish this because I haven't watched the film in ages, and yeah, I love this story, so I'm going to have to watch that at some point. And I actually finished my first audiobook, which is amazing, and that audiobook was I Don't Want to Be Crazy by Samantha Schwartz. I still can't pronounce it properly, but I finished that. I had less left than I thought I did because the last two chapters in the audiobook, one was an author's note and the second one was just like a wrap up thing that they have at the end of every audiobook, which I didn't realise. So yeah, I don't have massive thoughts on it, to be honest with you. It's a memoir and I feel like it is I did definitely to a certain extent find it relatable, but I don't really have many thoughts on it, to be honest with you, and I'm not going to rate it because it's somebody's personal experience, so I don't feel like you can rate that really. So I finished that, which is very exciting. So I started my second and final audiobook, which is A Tragic Kind of Wonderful by Eric Lindstrom, and I've been wanting to read this book for ages, so obviously this is a good excuse as ever to read it. And I am on chapter 7 of 33, and this book deals with bipolar, and I've only read one book before, which is I Don't Want Ariel Lemons and Snowflakes by Holly Bourne. That's the only book I've ever read about bipolar, so I'm really looking forward to reading more of this and learning more about bipolar. I don't have any thoughts on this novel yet really, and I've also kind of only been half listening to it because I was sorting a video out when I was listening to it. So yeah, I'm very happy that I actually finally finished that audiobook. It was only 3 hours long. It only took me 2 weeks to finish it, like, you know, there we go. So I don't have anything exciting for this week, like as per usual. I do have one thing that's possibly exciting because obviously we're trying to ease all the restrictions for lockdown here in the UK, so my work is hopefully, we're planning on possibly opening up for takeaway services, so that'll be very exciting if that does happen. I think we just started talking about it this weekend and what we can do, so that's something that we are going to hopefully be possibly doing within the coming weeks, which will be very exciting until we can open up properly again. But I don't have anything else exciting to do from that. As you can see, my hair is curly because I tried that trick where you use a rope from a dressing gown to like make your hair wavy, and I took it out this morning and it was like full on like curls, like the ones where you can like ping them and then they spiral out. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. This side is looser than this side. I'm not a massive fan of having my hair curly because I just don't think it looks right. It's okay, I've tied it up half, so it looks a bit better. But yeah, thought I'd try something new and it looks okay. It'll look better tomorrow probably when they've kind of all fallen out a bit, but I tried something new. And yeah, I don't have anything else exciting to report. It is like 11:20 in the morning. So, and I've just done my yoga and my usual routine. So yeah, that's all I have to update you guys on at the moment. I will update you at some point in the near future when I have done some more reading. Another week, another day of reading, and yeah, I will update you guys when I have some more reading updates to share with you. It is Tuesday and it is time for a reading update. So I've made quite a lot of progress with Perks of Being a Wallflower, more than I was expecting. I am over halfway through now. I have under 100 pages, which is quite cool. I am on page 147 and I'm still enjoying this. I actually picked up the audiobook yesterday because my sinuses were really bad, and I didn't want to really look at a screen or read a book, so I just listened to it, and I did a bit of that, and then I also read along with the audiobook last night, and I read a bit more this morning, so I'm enjoying it. We're almost at part 4 now, so yeah. Obviously this book is, there's a lot of this, you can have a lot of discussion with this book and the subjects, but really I'm just enjoying my reread of this book. Like, it's been so long since I read it, and it's a story that I'm so familiar with because I knew that I didn't realise it was a book originally, I only knew the film, but it's a story that I've known for many years and is very familiar to me, and I'm just really enjoying it. I must admit, the tone of the book is quite sad, I guess, for reasons like that. Obviously there's a lot of stuff that happens to a lot of the characters in here, but I'm just really enjoying it. And something that I also noticed with this book is, and all the other books that I've read for Mentalhealthathon so far, is the friendships in the books. Like how great the friendship groups are and how supportive they are, and I just really, really love that. So that's something that I've really been enjoying in these books. And I've listened to more of my audiobook, which is A Tragic Kind of Wonderful, and I'm on chapter 10, so I have 4 hours left, and I am enjoying it. I feel like I'm a little bit confused sometimes about what's going on. Like, I don't know whether it's just me, I don't feel like there's been a massive amount of like the mental health aspect in this novel so far, apart from our main character, I can't even remember, oh yeah, Mel, I forgot what her name was called then. Apart from like Mel going to her therapy sessions, I haven't really seen masses of the mental health aspect in it, but I don't know, like I just feel ever so slightly confused reading this book, just a little bit confused about what's going on, but we will see what's going on. I'm still interested in what's going to happen, so I will carry on listening to it and just see what happens. So that is my reading update for now, and it is the morning, it is like 11 o'clock, and I'm going to try and maybe do a Skillshare class or something else. I'm going to do some writing now, and then I'll do like a class or something later. And it's like drizzly today. I walked up to Finn and I managed to get away with not getting really wet, but I don't know, it's just really nice. I'm not a massive fan of rain, but when you get the odd day when it's been like super sunny, I don't mind it, and it's quite nice. And it's a little bit humid as well, which isn't like lovely, but there you go. So yeah, that's all my update for now. So I'm gonna go and do some writing and catch you guys in a bit. This week has totally not been productive, like at all. So it is now Thursday, and I have just finished my 4th book for the readathon, which is Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky, and I adored my reread of this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Obviously, it has been so long since I read this book. It's been like roughly 4 or 5 years since I last read it, and I just loved it so much. I feel like I got so much more out of it this time reading it because I have grown so much as a reader, and it's just a story that I love so much. And yeah, I just really enjoyed my reread, and like I said, I just feel like I got so much more out of this reread. than I did the first time I read it. So I love this very, very, very much. I've enjoyed all of the books really that I've read so far. This is probably one of my favourites though. Or to be honest with you, I've enjoyed every single physical read that I've read so far, but I really, really love this book. So yes, I'm so glad that I decided to reread it for this readathon. It's just so wonderful. This is such a wonderful, wonderful book. And if you have not picked this book up yet, I really highly recommend you do. Just be aware of the content warnings, as this deals with PTSD, depression, sexual, domestic and substance abuse. So just be aware of those factors if you are going to pick this book up. But it is just truly an absolute jam. And I was reading along with the audiobook for a bit of this, and also for the last bit when I finished it up. And the audiobook has another chapter of Charlie 20 years later, and this edition doesn't have it, so I'm guessing the anniversary edition does, about Charlie when he's 20 years old and how he's getting all these letters from these people who have read his letters. And I thought that was amazing. I think that's kind of based off the fact that I think Stephen Chbosky received a lot of letters from a lot of people who read Perks of Being a Wallflower about how it helps them. And I think that must have been based off that, and that's what I'm guessing at anyway. But I love that. Like, I love Charlie, I love Sam and Patrick, I love their friendship. I just love everything about this book. Like, I have no complaints. I'm so glad I got to reread it. I did want to tab it as well, but unfortunately this is my sister's copy. I don't have my own copy yet, but when I eventually get my own copy, I will definitely annotate it because I just adore this book. And yes, so glad that I got to reread it. And I've also made quite a lot of progress with my audiobook, which is A Tragic and a Wonderful. I am on chapter 25 out of 33, so I have about an hour left. And I am enjoying it. I don't know whether it's probably because it's an audiobook. It's the fact that I'm not always fully engaged, because obviously I listen to audiobooks whilst I'm doing stuff. So it feels like I'm not necessarily fully engaged, like I'm engaged with more bits than the other. And like I said, the first half of the book, I didn't feel like there was much, that the storyline wasn't relating much to Mel's mental health, but the representation for the mental health is definitely coming through now in the second half of the book, and it's definitely it's different compared to Lemmings and Snowflakes, like kind of the discussion around it. I can't speak for the representation for this book. I have had a little bit of a look on Goodreads, and the Goodreads seem pretty good. Like the reviews and stuff, but it's very different, and it's also a very different look towards medication, because a lot of the books that you tend to read, or I have read at any rate, who are dealing with medication, they don't like being on medication, or they really don't want to take it. But Mel doesn't like who she is without the medication. Like, she knows that she can, that she's not who she really is without the medication, and yeah. And it was just kind of interesting learning about that, and also her discussions with her therapist as well. But I am enjoying it, but like I said, I feel like I was just a bit confused about certain things. But reading a couple of reviews on Goodreads is kind of helping me sort of clear my thoughts a bit more on what I think about this book. But I'm really glad that I'm making more progress. Hopefully I'll be able to finish it before the readathon finishes next week. That would be really good. But yeah, that is my reading update. I'm so proud of myself for making so much progress. Like, I know Perks of Being a Wallflower is only short, but I just adored my reread so much, and I've nearly finished my final audiobook, which is amazing. So the only read that I have to actually start now for the readathon is Winter Girls by Laurie Halse Anderson, and this is a book that deals with eating disorders, and I'm really looking forward to reading this book. I've been wanting to read it for ages. I've heard so many good things about this book. I know that it is quite heavy, but I'm really looking forward to reading it. So I don't think I'm going to pick it up now. I'm going to chill and think I'm going to go and get some tea, or I might actually make a banana milkshake, because I haven't done that in ages. But I will definitely pick this up later on, and I should definitely be able to finish it by the end of the readathon next week. But yeah, that is all my reading update for you guys. And yeah, it's been a pretty good reading month so far. I'm very proud of myself to say that I'm not a very fast reader. I'm going to have, hopefully, fingers crossed, have read like 6 or 7 books on this month, which is very, very good. So yes, that is my update for now, and I think I'm going to go and make myself a banana milkshake and chill, maybe sit out in the sun for a bit, go for a walk, and decide what I'm going to do from there. So it is now Saturday afternoon, and over the past day, yesterday even, I started Winter Girls. I'm on page 62 and I don't have too many thoughts on it, but the one thing, or the main issue I'm having with this book at the moment is the writing. I'm not really gelling with it. I've never read a book with a writing style like this before. It's just a bit, I don't know if disjointed is the exact word, but that's the word I'm going to use. I get a little bit confused about like how it's written, and it's just a bit disjointed, like I said, and it means that I have to concentrate a bit more when I'm reading, or I get a bit confused and I actually get a bit frustrated because I don't fully, well, I understand the story, but I'm just not like meshing with the writing style very well, which means that I'm just generally not enjoying the book or the story as much. So that is not great. I was hoping I was going to finish, hopefully I will still be able to finish this book by the end of next week, because it's not that long, it's under 300 pages, but because I'm getting so frustrated about not meshing with the writing style, I don't really want to read it, or at least I don't want to read much. This would obviously, I think this would help a lot if I had the audiobooks, then I could listen to the audiobook whilst reading along with it, but unfortunately the audiobook for Winter Girls isn't available on Scribd in the UK, which is very annoying, and I don't have subscription to anywhere else to get it, so that's kind of a shame because I feel like that would help me so much. But yeah, I don't know, I'm going to keep reading it and see how I go. I've not read any today apart from this morning. I don't really think I'm going to read any this evening because I don't want to push myself to read it when I don't want to, even though I want to finish it for this readathon, because pushing myself to read is how I end up in book slumps, and I do not want to end up in a reading slump, like especially since there are so many good books that I want to read over the next coming months. I do not want to end up in another reading slump, so I'm going to take my time with this book and see how I go. And if I don't finish it for Mentalhealthathon, it's not the end of the world. I'll probably just keep reading it, take my time with it, and just see how I go, basically. But you guys will definitely hear more thoughts on this book in my next reading vlog, because I'm actually going to wrap this vlog up here again, so then I can get it finished editing it and get it up for tomorrow. But yeah, that is my thoughts on Winter Girls so far. We shall see. I should hopefully have read a bit more. I'm not planning on reading masses over the weekend, just to kind of give myself a break and to chill, and then return to this book with kind of a better mindset, just for the factor that I want to try and understand and get into the style more. Obviously I'm not even 100 pages in yet, so I feel like I'm hoping it will still turn around, because like it's a book that so many people love and I really want to love it. So but that's what is happening at the moment. So yeah, that is my reading update, and this is the end of the vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading vlog. I feel like it's going to be a bit shorter compared to the rest of them, but I've just been reading a little bit slower and just kind of taking it a bit more chill with this vlog, so I hope you guys don't mind that. So I'll give you a little reading wrap up. So I finished one book, which is Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky, which I gave 5 out of 5 stars. It was a reread and I absolutely adored it. And then obviously I started Winter Girls and I'm on page 62, and then I don't think I've made any more progress on my audiobook since I last updated you guys, but I have about an hour left of A Tragic Kind of Wonderful and I'm starting to like it a bit more now, but I should, fingers crossed, definitely be able to finish it by next week. If you like this video, then please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more bookish videos from me, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and little bell icon so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. As always, I will leave the links to my social media along with the links to my Goodreads in the description down below for you guys. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!